Last V-Call, we actually received Deadliest Beast Deity Ethics Buster Reverse. This set, we received War Deity Asura Kaiser. So you may be wondering, wow, what a great state Nova Grappler is in. Wow, what a great state Nova Grappler is in. Hey, what's going on, guys? RS4 here. Today we are back for another V-Call, another Beast Deity deck profile. As usual, I do not wish to play this deck anymore, so today we have Fade the Fourth.
I also don't want to play this deck anymore.
Nobody wants to play this deck anymore, but you know what? It's so fun. So today we're actually going to be covering on Ethics Buster Extreme. Don't let those fools on Reddit tell you. This guy is actually so mid. It's actually one of the most mid decks on the planet.
I can't believe they printed Ethics Buster without a skill, man.
Yeah, it's like, oh my goodness, but I know we're dissing it pretty hard, but there are some strengths to this deck, but ultimately we'll put it in the conclusion section on whether you actually do want to play this deck or not. Our grade 3 lineup, we play 4 copies of Ethics Buster Extreme, 4 copies of base Ethics Buster, and of course 4 copies of Ultra Beast Deity Illuminal Dragon. Now, I'm going to cover this one really quick because I just did the Asura video the other day. You guys still remember this guy, right? He's actually a good card, right? So I got his skill wrong on the first reading, so I actually got it right later on the video, but I'm gonna make sure I get it right this time. When your attack fails, you count +1, you choose one of your rear guards, and then you stand it, and then it gains 10, and then he attacks the opponent's vanguard. Like I said in the Asura video, the reason why the last clause exists is because it's supposed to work with Beast Deities, but you guys took it too seriously, that's why I'm doing this video. So the reason why is because during the main phase, Beast Deities can do a lot of attacks, which works pretty well here. It's a nice Vanguard once per turn skill, but its second skill is also pretty cool on VNR, which is whenever any attack hits, he gains 15,000 power. So as a center column, he can be 27,000 power. As a rear guard, he can be 27,000 power. He's just a great card altogether. Illuminal Dragon is one of those cards where no matter how you put it, you should be putting it in your deck. Especially for Beast Deities where, you know, you don't have great rear guard options. This is actually really good. And as you see from the rest of the cards in this set, you don't really have good cards in general. So yeah.
Next we have our favorite card, Beast Deity Ethics Buster.
Yay.
I can't believe I'm explaining his skill once again.
For the 4th time.
So basically, Ethics Buster tells your opponent, do you want to guard, do you want to no guard? Because when you place him, or when a card is placed on top of him, you discard 2 cards from your hand, and you attack. Yeah, that's it. You just attack. And then if your opponent no guards this, and he'll remain in the rested position.
And then you need to stand him.
And then you need to stand him using one of your other skills. And he loses a drive check at the end of turn. So wow, I love minusing cards from hand. And but then if your opponent chooses to guard it, and the guard is successful, he stands. And he doesn't lose any drive checks. So no, I can't proc my Vermilion Bird. Wow, I'm so sad. Okay, so, but all jokes aside, Ethics Buster is one of the saving graces of this deck, because you know that guard pressure is still very strong, even if it's just for 1 turn, even if your opponent is at 1 damage, you know, at least you have that guard pressure. At least your opponent has to think somewhat about whether your deck is threatening or not.
And you know it's a saving grace because they reprinted it. They really knew that we needed it, so they gave it to you again.
Yes, and other than that, you know, NLC has a non-existent second ability. When your Beast Deity unit attacks, you can CB counter blast out, they give you 5k at the end of turn. So
this used to be a good skill, but now it's just not.
Yeah, now your CB is much better used elsewhere. And also, as to clarify once again, if you write Ethics on top of Ethics, the skill only procs once. No, your opponent guards it. No, basically it goes in sequence. So if your opponent guards the first one, then the second one will go into standby and then activate. But if your opponent lets the first attack through, then the second skill is cancelled. So you know you won't be able to get the restand off.
Thank you to everyone who actually quoted us during your judge test. We hope you actually passed the test. If you didn't, leave a comment in the comment section below on why you were actually forgetting such an important interaction in V-Series, and should we actually do a judge deck profile? No, we won't.
Okay, now of course we have our strongest vanilla, strongest Beast Deity Ethics Buster Extreme.
Did he have teeth in the last version?
Yeah, he did.
He did?
He's always had teeth.
I don't know.
He's always had teeth.
Damn.
Yes. So Ethics Buster Extreme, of course, is the strongest vanilla card. Every time, when your Beast Deity rear guard stands by card ability,
he gains 5.
Yeah, this unit gains 5. So of course, you know, Nova Grappler can't get strong rear guards because we have to have very strong vanguards that just get PG. So fantastic. And then of course, the only reason why this card is even playable is because its second ability is that when this unit...
Wait, before you start, I need to put all the great trees here.
Okay,
just so people know what they're getting into.
Okay, so it's when this unit drive checks a grade 1 or greater
Beast
deity, you get to counterblast 1 and counterblast 1
and discard a card from your hand.
Card from your hand while you minus yourself even further.
Choose a beast deity of the same grade that you just drive check and you stand it. And if the number of damage you have is 4 or more, you can choose all cards in the name as beast deity and stand it.
No, it's the same grade.
Oh, the same grade. Sorry. Oh my god, it got worse.
Yeah, it's the same grade as the card that you just stood and you stand it.
Oh my goodness.
And of course,
any worse.
And of course, every time you stand the rear guard, he gains 5,000 power in the middle of your drive check.
Oh my god.
Do you understand how bad this card is now? So.
Oh yeah, I'm right. Sorry. You're right. It's all cards in the same grade.
And note but note that I said not rear guards, but units.
But you can't even do that because you need this guy in the soul to even gain 5,000 power.
Yes. Yeah. Because for the first ability, it only procs if you have the original Ethics Buster in your soul.
So
but
it's strictly a turn 4 card. You can't even do this on turn 3.
Yes.
Oh my.
I mean, unless of course lower grappler gets a Nightmare Painter, then I'll eat my words. But until now it's a turn 4 card. You just die to lower on turn 3. But all jokes aside.
All hail 7C.
All jokes aside, note that I said units and not rear guards. So yes, you can if you drive check a grade 3 and you stand a grade 3, you can stand Ethics Buster Extreme as the Vanguard Circle and do it all. No, you cannot do it again because it's a once per turn ability.
Oh yeah.
This card just gets better and better the more we read this card.
I take it back, I said you guys were going to pass the judge test thanks to Ethics Buster. I'm wrong. It's actually Ethics Buster Extreme. This deck is just reading the deck. Like, if you can't read, you can't play. It sucks because the more you read, the more you realize you can't play either.
Yeah.
So it's not even a dichotomy. You're just doomed from the start.
Okay. So in case it is not evident at this point, just play Ethics Buster Reverse at this point. The Extreme is so laughably bad and so laughably incompetent as a card that you do absolutely nothing when you write this card on top of Ethics Buster. You get the extra attack and then you restand. And then if your opponent is smart, they'll let you get the attack off. So for a skill that is reliant on you drive checking a normal unit, you are -1 drive for the whole turn.
The reason why we're making this video is to teach you how to beat this deck.
Yes. And not that you'll ever see this deck. Well, you're more
No, you will in your judge test.
Oh yeah, you'll see this in your judge test.
You see in the judge test.
Yeah.
This is what the judges play.
Yes. So Ethics Buster Extreme is a very disappointing unit. As much as I do, but it is still a deck. You can still play the deck. It's just it won't do anything. So we will actually show you like how we built around having Ethics Buster like Extreme as a card. I can't believe it exists, but he is still a card, and we'll just have to make the best with what we have. Having said that, let's get into our great tools. Okay, so for great tools, we play 4 copies of our favorite monkey, Beast Deity Branny Papio. And we play 4 copies of Beast Deity Typhoon Bird and 1 copy of Beast Deity Black Tortoise. So Branny Papio is our favorite monkey. When he's discarded for the cost of one of your abilities, you can call him to Rearguard Circle as rest. So yeah, you can't even stand. You can't call it stand. Let's say you discard him for the cost of Ethics Buster Reverse. He doesn't even come out as stand. So, but of course, if you drive check a grade 2, you can stand him. But so that's beside the point. And of course, since he was meant for a much better unit, he actually has a good second skill, which is if your Vanguard attack hits. So, if your Vanguard attack hits, you can count +1, soul +1, draw a card, call a grade 2 or lower Beast Deity from your hand to Rearguard Circle, and that unit will gain 10k at the end of turn. And at the end of turn, you bounce it back to hand.
That's pretty good.
No, it's not, because you can't even call a Luminous Dragon from this skill.
Oh.
So you can call a vanilla, which also needs the CV in order to actually use the skill, or you can call a vanilla who attacks the Vanguard and then who attacks the Vanguard for overcosted. Yeah.
He's only doing the main phase.
A main phase overcosted Rearguard Circle attack. So as much as I want, and so I know Baron Papio of course is still a lifesaver because you do have to discard cards for this deck, and it's a Beast Deity, so it just plays into the fact that you have to drive check Beast Deities. You want to run as many Beast Deities as you possibly can. Typhoon. Okay, now we move, and then now we'll get in, the grade ones. Honestly, is the saving grace of this second ability. But before we get into that, we should cover our grade 2s, which will let us actually find our grade 1s, which is Beast Deity Typhoon Bird. Typhoon Bird is once per turn, Vanguard or Rearguard Circle. If your Vanguard is a Beast Deity, count +1, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and you call a Beast Deity that is not a grade 2 to Rearguard Circle.
Yay.
As rest. So, actually we want it as rest. As we said in the previous Beast Deity video, we want as many cards as we possibly can as rest. So we can use Forbidden Bird, Leaf Taurus, and stand there. Or you can use Ethics Buster Reverse and stand. Ethics Buster, I almost call it Reverse. That's how much I missed the card. Ethics Buster Extreme and stand there. Alright, so Typhoon Bird is of course it's a fantastic filtering card. It's a fantastic +1, and it also calls the card as rare, so it means it lets us proc our skills. So overall, it's a very good card for a very bad boss. Now we have a Black Tortoise because we needed Beast Deities to fill out the slot, and we're already discarding cards as it is. So we can't. So unlike our previous video, we can't play what's his name? The other grade 2 that calls itself that lets you attack in the main phase.
That is no, that's not Glass Dragon. That's Eclair Dragon.
Yeah, Eclair. So we can't play Eclair because we're already discarding too many cards already. And even though Eclair actually would work in this deck, but if it wasn't for the discard cost, it would still work. But Black Tortoise, is once per turn, Rearguard Circle, count +1, soul +1, and it immediately attacks the Vanguard. And if the attack doesn't hit, you stand it again. If the attack hits, it remains rested. So it's just an annoying card for your opponent to deal with if it actually can hit the Vanguard, which is why it does work well with our favorite Monkey, Baron Papio, as well also but even though it is 2 Carbon Blast and 2 Soul Blast, for a card that doesn't really need that much CB or Soul Blast, it is still perfectly fine.
Just don't Soul Blast the Ethics Buster.
Yeah, don't Soul Blast the Ethics Buster and don't Soul Blast your starter.
Yeah, don't Soul Blast the starter.
Then we move on to our grade 1s. We play 2 copies of Beast Deity Glance Dragon. We play 2 copies of Beast Deity Max Beat. We play 4 copies of the Savior of Beast Deities, Leaf Taurus, and we play the other Savior of Beast Deities and 4 of
Scarlet Bird.
Or if you're playing the Japanese version, Vermilion Bird. So let's get the newcomers out of the way because these 4 cards, I think most people will know them from our previous deck profile. We have Glance Dragon. So Glance Dragon skill is Rearguard Circle. When your other unit Beast Deity attacks, your Vanguard is a Beast Deity. Your Vanguard is a grade 3 Beast Deity. Soul +1 to stand this unit.
Yay.
And of course, it's still 8k, so you have to put it on the XL circle. But it is still a very, very solid extender for Soul Blast. And I will give it that Glance Dragon, if you can stand it multiple times thanks to Ethics Buster Extreme, it will actually pop off because you can stack triggers on it. You can stack multiple. Like if you decide to play some non-Beast Deity, you can even consider cards like Drew the Duo. You can consider cards like Arashi, so you can boost it, then you can stand it, then you can give it power, so you can become a solo attacker after it stands. Then when Extreme stands it, you can also put triggers on it and also give it more power. Other than that, Glass Dragon is just a very good extender. It's a very good card to put on the XL circle because we have no good specific XL circle targets other than Illuminal Dragon. But as you can see, we play a lot of Beast Deities. So why not we just play the Searcher for Beast Deities? Albeit a very bad Searcher, which is Beast Deity Max Beat. Oh my god, I forgot his name. For Max Beat, we did actually mention him in our previous video, is when it's placed on Vanguard Circle or Rearguard Circle, you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, you add 1 Beast Deity card from among them to your hand, you put the rest at the bottom, and if it's on Rearguard Circle, you rest him. So Max Beat is our way of deck filtering. Of course, deck filter your triggers away. Yeah, that is still counted as deck filtering. And also, it's just there to help us get our Beast Deity because we can't play Arashi in this deck because we have to drive check grade 3s. So we have to drive check Beast Deities. So Max Beat is of course our contingency plan. I don't play him at 4 because I do still value Glance Dragon. But if you don't value Glance Dragon's Soul Blast to extend, you can just bump him up to 4, which is perfectly fine. Albeit I just don't like the card, so that's why I don't play him at 4. It's personal preference because we have another Searcher in this deck, which is an actually good card, which is Beast Deity Leaf Taurus. So Leaf Taurus skill is that when it's placed on rearguard circle in your main phase only, stand one of your Beast Deity units. So you can stand your Vanguard. If your Ethics Buster was rested because the attack hit, you can actually stand your Vanguard. And so it's an uncosted stand. This is undoubtedly one of the best reasons why you play this card, because it can help you out of a bind. If you aren't able to stand your Vanguard, you can just use it to stand. Then you can get your measly 1 drive check off, which won't be a Beast Deity. Or if it's not a Beast Deity, it's a trigger. Wow. And his second ability is when your Vanguard attack hits, you put this unit into your, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck and add 1 grade 3 or greater Beast Deity from among them into your hand. And if this card was a rearguard circle, you put it into your soul, because this ability is Vanguard or rearguard circle. So if you wrote this and this attack hit, you get to search. But if it's starting from grade turn 2 onwards, if this attack hits and this search pops off, you have to put it into soul. So soul is actually a very important resource, because as you can see, we play a lot of cards that need soul. Card that needs soul, card that needs soul, a card that needs soul. So soul is actually a very important resource in this deck. So it's a way to refund it without actually playing Shout, because we can't afford to play Shout in this deck, because you have to play all Beast Deities. So Leaf Taurus is a 2-for-1 that helps us search, he helps us add to soul, and it also helps us stand our Vanguard if we are unable to find the next card in this grade 1 pool, which is of course the Savior of Beast Deities. The second Savior of Nova Grappler. Beast Deities Scarlet. Scarlet's ability is that when placed during your main phase, you will Soul Blast 1, and you can stand all of your units. So you board reset your whole board. So let's say you did a lot of main phase attacks, leave
Leaf Taurus.
If you have a lot of main phase attacks with stuff like Black Tortoise, your Vanguard, you get to stand all of them back. And then
or if you call the grade 2, you can serial call the rest, and you can use Vermilion Bird, you reset.
Yeah. And then if you have White Tiger in the soul and you stood 2 or more units, you get to draw a card. So it's not only is it a plus and a board restand, it also is still not only is it a board reset, it's also a plus if you have a White Tiger in the soul. So can't really go wrong with that, and it's not generic to Beast Deity. So you can actually run this in every Nova Grappler deck, but because this is Beast Deity, we're gonna need all the help we can get.
Moving on to our grade 0s, we play 8 critical for Hugard. Oh yeah, that's not grade 0, that's grade 3.
Yeah, and
this one and White Tiger.
So we'll get the PGs out of the PGs because you don't want to lose to 7 Cs.
Yes.
Hugard because you don't want to lose to 7 Cs.
Yes.
And we play 8 crit because Ethics Buster's one and only actual benefit is that he can pressure your opponent to take an attack that will actually get a crit on it. So that is very, 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 very good and very, very gaming, but it also is a cause for concern because as you can see, this deck is a very, 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 very piece reliant deck, and we're only playing 4 draw. So this is the dilemma with Beast Deities. If you want to play ultra aggressive, play 4 draw, play 8 crit, and just hope that you draw the pieces that you need, and if the game is willing to go your way, then you shouldn't have a problem in needing more than 4 draw. But if you're wanting to be more consistent with it, that you want to actually play this competitively, I would recommend playing 6 draw. 6 draw, and you just let go of some of the crit pressure, because crit pressure, as good as it is at higher levels of play, most opponents will be able to see through it, and most opponents will not want to take the chance, and they will have enough cards in hand to not need to make such a tough decision. This isn't Vowing Saber. They don't have to make very tough decisions.
The tough decisions on the Vowing Saber player, on whether he wants to play the deck or not.
Yes, of course.
And that wraps up our Ethics Buster Extreme. So, you probably still think that this deck is not worth building. But in actual fact, it is, because there are some people out there who just genuinely do not enjoy, they do not enjoy Ethics Buster Reverse. So if you don't enjoy Reverse, then I say this is the best option for you to play. It's better than just playing pure Illumino, because pure Illumino, as good as it is, you can still benefit of stuff like your Ethics and your occasional Extreme. Because Extreme does work once in a blue moon. The thing is, obviously, it just doesn't happen that often. So this entire deck was really just constructed in the hopes that we get to use it more often than not, but that should not be a sign to say, oh my goodness, this card is good. It's not. Ethics Buster Extreme is definitely one of the lowest in the barrel, but he's not heroes level bad, which is why we could tolerate him enough to actually do a video on him.
I have no words.
You have no words.
Yes. The Ethics Buster Extreme is a card that exists, and I will acknowledge that it does something. Whether it does anything that's better than reverse, no, it doesn't. Honestly, just play Azure Dragon. just play Azure Dragon. Like I'm being serious. Just play Azure.
Just play Azure Dragon.
Like Ethics Buster Extreme is not only the most xenophobic Beast Deity that we've gotten in the V series. We praised Ethics Buster Reverse for actually being a breath of fresh air for Beast Deity, because you actually could play a lot of very varying support, and you could not only build a deck around Beast Deity but also build around the Vanguard restand.
Yeah.
Ethics Buster Extreme throws all that progress out the window and reset its character development to, oh my god, all Beast Deity. Yeah. So, and also, having a Vanguard that is relying on dry checks come off of a Vanguard that reduces your dry checks is, of course, it's backwards game design. So honestly, just go back and play Azure.
Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.
Bye bye.